It's possible. Just got to remember, continue to plant these seeds in your mind. It's possible. Your big goals, your dreams, the life you're asking for, it's possible. Do you believe it? Do you believe it's possible for you? Do you believe you can be, do, have anything that you want? I hope you do. I hope these calls, I hope the people you're around, I hope your environment all reinforces the fact that it's possible for you, whatever that thing is. So if you're not in that environment, if you're not around the people, if you don't hear this all the time, you have to reprogram yourself. You have to reprogram yourself for success. You got to reprogram yourself so that you start to believe that the life that you're asking for is possible. And then once you believe it and once you understand that, hey, I can make this happen, then we got to get to work. And that's the toughest part. The toughest part is the work. I was sharing this with a young gentleman yesterday. I was having a quick phone conversation with him, and we were talking a little, and I was talking a little bit about him getting to the life that he wants. And I was like, "Hey, what are you trying to do?" And he's a little unsure, but it really came down to like he just wanted to make some money. And I basically like laid out this blueprint for him, and I was like, "Hey, listen, this is what you got to do. Number one, you got to write down your vision. You got to know exactly the man that you want to be in 10 years, all of it, not just what you want to do for work, but all the stuff. You got to write it down. You got to get really clear on that. If you don't get clear on that, you're not going to know which way to go. You're going to take all different types of things that are not going to benefit you. So that's number one. Then I told him you need to upgrade your skill set. You want to make money? We make money at the level of our skill sets. You got to make sure that you learn things like sales, marketing, money. You got to get good at these things in order for you to go off and be able to design a life for yourself, because those are the things that give you ownership. Right. And then I said, and then you got to start consuming better things. The same things I tell all of you. We become what we think. You guys know this because you hear me say it all the time. Most people don't hear me say this often, but you become what you think. So what we consume will become, because what we consume, eye gates, ear gates, mouth, those are the things that create our thoughts. So that means if we want to change our thinking, we have to change what we're consuming. It means you have to watch different things. It means you have to listen to different things. It means you have to get around different people. You have to be in a different environment. You have to eat different things. Like everything has to change in your consumption. And once you do that, then you'll start to see the progress of your life changing. But that's the work. And I was sharing that with them, and I was like, you can do all these things, but like, that's the hard part. It's changing your consumption. It's changing what you're watching. It's reading books. It's listening to podcasts. It's getting around people that make you feel uncomfortable. This is a conversation I'm giving to a younger man. Like, this is the conversation for all of us. How often are you getting yourself uncomfortable? How often are you getting yourself around people that push you, that challenge you, that are at a higher level of consciousness than you, that are at a better health level than you, that are at a better financial level than you, that have more business acumen than you? Like, how often are you getting around these people and them becoming your circle? Because if you do, again, you hear me say it, you're the average of the five people you spend time with. You're the average of the five people you spend the most time with. So if all of the people around you aren't in great health, it's likely you'll be the sixth person that's not in great health. The opposite is true. If all the five people that you're around the most are in tip top shape, they eat well, they move their body, and that becomes your primary circle, not just the people you see like once every other month, but that becomes the people you talk to on a daily basis, you will then become the sixth person that's healthy. That's the way it goes. But that's consumption. And so that's a message for all of us that we have to continue to make sure to be on this path. The work is going to be the hardest part. The work is going to be the hardest part, but you can't shy away from the work. Focus on ways to win. You heard that in the video. Focus on ways to win, not on the problems. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. You've heard me say all these things, but I have to constantly repeat them so you actually apply them in your life. Where you're whatever you're focused on, that's where your energy is flowing. That's what you're going to get more of. So you can choose to focus on the problems or you can choose to focus on the solutions. It's really up to you. Some of our mindset goes towards the problems, the adversities, the challenges, the woe is me, the I have bad luck, I can't get out of this, my life is the same. Like some of our energy flows to that. Some of our energy flows to Man, how can I get out of this? Man, this is just another test. God's pulled me through a bunch. This is going to be great. On the other side of this is a blessing. Like whatever it is, however you think about it is what is the experience you're going to get. So you got to find solutions. Show up, make a commitment for your life. You have to fight for the things that you want in life, ladies and gentlemen. You have to fight for peace. You have to fight for happiness. You have to fight for joy. You have to fight for progress. Like it is a fight to get to the life that you want. You hear me say it often, but life does not get easier. It actually gets harder. Life gets harder. As long as we understand that and you don't have a delusion, in this book, they talk about middle class lives in delusion, right? As long as you don't have a delusion that life will get easier, we're good. Because once you understand, life will get harder. The choice is can get stronger or not. So that's how you have to think about this thing. Life doesn't get easier. We get stronger or not. It's your choice. But that's what this process is. That's why we jump on these calls. So we can get mentally, emotionally, spiritually tougher to handle the life that we're asking for. If you are the person that has a vision for your life, you have a vision for what you want to go do, you have a vision for your family legacy, then you have to grow the capacity to handle that, which means you have to go through some of these things. You have to start to learn how to build the capacity to handle this stuff. And it's typically through adversities and other things like that. Here's what it says in our text, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. Number 154 says the world class reframes painful past experiences. What you heard a little bit in that video is people saying, like, you might have had things happen to you in the past. You might have had bad experiences, but how you reframe that, what you choose to focus on will determine the outcome you get with it. Here's what it says in the text. It says champions believe the only thing relevant about their past is how it affects their present and future. The middle class consciousness bases many beliefs on the events of the past, yet the world class knows the past does not equal the future. Champions are masters at placing new, empowering meanings on the struggles of the past. Say that sentence again. Champions are masters at placing new, empowering meanings on the struggles of the past. Average people invest a lot of time living in the past and wishing things were different. The great ones know that without the trouble and turbulence they experienced in the past, they would not be where they are today. This attitude creates mental harmony and fosters good feelings about an otherwise troublesome set of memories. Good memories of the past are not an issue for anyone. It's the tough times that reveal the level of the performer. The great ones share the philosophy that everything happens for a reason. This allows them to reframe events they originally perceived as negative. This is another example of how champions use the concept of truth versus fact. Past events is fact. How they interpret the past event is truth. Knowing they cannot change the facts of the past, champions instead alter their interpretation of the facts. This mental tool enables them to transform the pain of the past into a positive catalyst for growth in the future. Why is this important? Because we all have gone through adversities and situations and trials and all the stuff in our past. Some of us are going through it right now, right? Like it's a constant thing. But again, this word reframe just says, how are we looking at it? If you look at it through one lens, it could be the most horrible event in your life. If you look at it through another lens, it could be the thing that takes you to the next level in life. It's just about how you look at it. This is why it's really hard to be a very successful, like a top performer, to be very successful and think so much about the past and think about the problems and think about the challenges. It's really hard to excel doing that because the future is what you're trying to build, but your mind has you focused on the past. So it's really difficult. You've heard this example before about driving a car. Why is the rear view mirror smaller than the front windshield? Right? It's because you're driving forward. So you need a bigger windshield to see what's up ahead of you. Imagine you tried to drive forward only looking at the rear view mirror. Imagine that. Imagine you're trying to drive forward in your car, drive straight on the highway, But all you can do is use your rear view mirror and look behind you. How far you think you're going to get? Right. Not far. You're not going to get far at all. You're going to crash immediately. Yet in our actual brains, like in our life, us trying to drive our life forward, you trying to get to your ideal life, yet you bring up past things. Well, this happened or this experience caused me to do this. Like that is not going to get us to the place that we need to go. And so we have to remember, we all have to remember, you have to be able to reframe anything painful that happened in your past and use that as motivation, use it as fuel to help you get to the life you don't need a break from. This is a belief system. I tell you guys, when you get around other people that might not be speaking this way, they might not be thinking this way, listen to them. Listen to the people around you. Listen to the people you're spending time with and figure out how much of the past they're actually talking about. How much of past experiences are they talking about? How much of past feelings and emotions are they talking about? Are they this person in here where it says average people invest a lot of time in the past and wishing things were different? Is that your primary circle? They're like, oh man, I wish I would have. Oh, remember back in the day? Oh, remember the good old times? If that is the conversation, that might not be the group of people you want to be around to help you get to the life you want. We should be around the people that are talking about future, talking about ideas, talking about what's up ahead, being excited for a future, getting uncomfortable, challenging ourselves, pushing us. Like those are the type of people you want to be around, ladies and gentlemen. And again, that's what this is for. It's so you can get a little dose of this Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, so we can drop something in your spirit so you can start being aware of the things you need to get to the life you want. And one of the things that holds us back from this stuff is us thinking too much about the past, us not being super clear on our vision and then not putting in the work in order to change who we are. Yes, you have to change. If that might be a shocker to some of you, but in order to get to the life you want, you have to become different. And the way we become different is we have to think differently. And so again, the reason why we talk about this stuff is because a lot of us have painful past experiences, traumas, things that have happened in our financial life. You guys know we're in the money business. So I deal with people with a lot of financial trauma, just like regular traumas, just like relational traumas, all the things, but that's caused us to get to the place we are currently. Your thinking has caused you to get to the place that you are currently in your life. So if you want to get to a new place in your life, you have to change your thinking. And one of the best ways is to stop focusing so much on the past. Again, it says champions believe the only thing relevant about the past is how it affects their present and future. We're not going to dwell on the past. We're not going to wish things were different. Of course, we made some mistakes. Of course, we went through some adversities. Of course, all those things happened. You probably could have handled some situations differently. You could have made some different choices. Absolutely. That's all of us. And now we have a life that we're trying to go build. Now we have the present moment and we have what we're trying to build in the future. And because of that, that's where our focus needs to go. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you focus on your future self, if you focus on the good things that are up ahead, you focus on your vision, your energy will flow into your vision, which will allow it to come to life. Your energy goes to other things. Again, I bring this up because I work with a lot of people, and it happens to me every once in a while where I notice my energy flows to things I don't want it to go to. But that's the thing that's top of mind. That's the thing that keeps popping up. But yet my focus goes there, my energy flows there, and then I wonder why in a week I don't feel good mentally. I'm a little depressed. I get a little anxious. I've learned how to kind of neutralize these things by paying attention to what I'm thinking about, so it doesn't happen as frequently. But catch me 6 years ago, this was me 100%. Catch me 8 years ago, this was me 100%. So that's why I know, since I was able to kind of train myself out of it, focus on different things, be very intentional about what I focus on, I was able to change my life. You guys can do the exact same thing. I don't know if this is a struggle for you. I don't, maybe you're great and you don't think about the past and you only think about the future and the great things that are up ahead. But I know many people spend a lot of time ruminating on the things that they actually can't change anymore. And that's hindering us from getting to the life that we don't need a break from. That's hindering us from designing our ideal life. That's hindering us from becoming the man or woman God called you to be. Like it's literally that small, that thin of a margin of how much are you thinking about the past and allowing that to dictate what you do in your current and in the future versus how much you don't allow that to dictate where you're headed, y'all. It's important. The action step for today says review the three most difficult adversities you listed and ask yourself how these events contributed to your future success or fulfillment. Reframe each event into a memory with the potential to serve you in the future. You probably have some thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, that are not serving you to help you get to the life that you want. So you got to make sure that we're changing some of those things today. You got to push yourself out of your comfort zone, right? Ron, I see your comment down there. You said yesterday I heard your voice in my head and I was going to buy some ice cream, picked up something totally different. Good job. Listen, I do this so you can hear my voice in the back of your mind. I'm I'm positively brainwashing all of you. That's what's happening for your own good, not for my own, right? But for your own good, so that when you hear me say these things over and over again, when you're out in the world, it's going to resonate with you. You're going to hear me say something. You're going to hear somebody say something about comfort zone, and you're going to be like, Chris always says you got to push yourself out of your comfort zone. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm glad I'm making an impact. I'm glad you're applying the word, most importantly. I don't do this for me. Again, I was blessed with this information a long time ago. I know so many people need it, so I give it freely. But I do this because I want you to be able to take hold of this and then go off and change your life, make different decisions, get yourself to the life that you want, your ideal life, become the man or woman God called you to be. It's a never ending journey. It's a never ending journey, but you guys got to continue to do the work. That's the way this goes. And Ron is showing he's doing the work, man. Proud of you. I love you guys. I want you to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. If nobody ever tells you that, I will always tell you that because you need people to believe in you and know that like you're not alone on this journey of personal growth, of personal development. At the end of the day, you got to know that you can make this happen. Thank you, Annette. I see that in there, right? Again, the more we can impact people, the more that I can drop that in your spirit, the more you're going to make different decisions of your life. Sometimes we just need to be aware of some things. So I'm grateful that I get a chance to do that for some of you. And again, continue to share this with people that you know need to hear it because there's a lot of people out there that need to change how they think so they can change their life, y'all. All right. I love you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Do something that scares you. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. I'll see you back here on Monday. All right. Take care.